Oh, and to finally directly respond to Null. Yeah, like what he posted in the Ween exposure thread is that pretending that you're Miyamoto is kind of funny. Because Chris should probably, check that out before, like, wholesale believing that the company of Nintendo is contacting him. Like, unless Chris was a child when this happened, I don't, like, if he was a kid, that's on his parents. Like, his parents should have fucking been like, no, no, no. If it was Miyamoto, you'd be contacted differently. It wouldn't be a random email. So it's funny, right? Um, it's funny that even, like, an orphan child like me, who had horrible, horrible fucking parents, and I'll die on that hill, um, realizes that you can't, like, accept everything that you read. It's those tiny coincidences that all pile up. And, yeah, it'll make you sound batshit crazy, but as long as there's people who have also seen those tiny little coincidences pile up, they'll know what you're talking about. You don't need to add context. And the main point is, yeah, that's completely different than trying to make him kill himself. It's not cool. It's not funny. It just shows that you need to be locked up. It should be a crime to try and cyber stalk and harass somebody to the point of killing themselves. Tricking somebody into thinking that you're some celebrity? That's funny. Like, that's extremely funny. But what's not funny is yeah, just trolling for harm. Troll for funnies. If the result of your trolling is going to lead to something very dark, don't do it. If you think somebody's suicidal, don't fuck with them. Right? Anything that you do could be very damaging. Because, like, say you're trolling them and you're trying to give them hope. What are they going to think when they realize that you've been monitoring them for a long time? They're not going to trust you. They're never going to trust you. It's just incredibly dumb. If you really genuinely want to help a suicidal person, set up a fucking Patreon for them. Otherwise, admit that you don't have enough money to help somebody out, and that maybe you should change your voting habits instead of trying to make this all about you. Right? So that's the lesson for everybody else to take away from this. Is pretty much, if you're not somebody that's too trusting, pick your targets better. Because realistically, we're reaching a point where, yeah, you'll have private security if you haven't done anything fucked up. But as soon as anybody can link you to fucked up things, well, your VPNs are probably going to dump all your info. It's the only way to keep people safe on the internet, really. As soon as you're found out actually abusing animals, that sort of shit, uploading gore, unless it's like, hey, this was a car accident, and I was not involved. Probably not going to get in trouble for that. But if it's a random corpse in the woods, yeah, you don't deserve any privacy anymore. Because the implication is that you killed that person. You have to think of the implications of what you say when you say something. And that's something that I've honestly done this whole goddamn time. So, yeah. It's not me swinging back and forth from, like, egotistical or whatever. It's just, I'm hurt by, like, a whole lot of things on this. And I understand why people can't be open. But at the end of the day, because some people were really shitty, people that I should trust, I can't. It's always going to be in the back of my mind that I can't trust them, even if they were trying to help. And it sucks, because I'm not going to let that try to color and influence my opinion on them. But it means that I need proof of anything that anybody claims from now on, because I am that burnt out on people who become hypocrites just to make fun of somebody else, you know? It's fine if you're a hypocrite when you're like, hey, I'm acknowledging that this thing about me is shitty, and I don't want to change it, because, you know what? The rest of me is pretty cool, and everybody's allowed to have some weird, kooky things or shitty things that they do. That's called being human. You have flaws. Seriously, though, I mean, like, fucking come on, you know? Anybody who can't communicate with memes is a fucking retard. Watch videos, okay? You know, like, the context is very fucking obvious if you watch videos. But if you're too much of a spedhead and you just read from one source of information, then guess what? You're the fool. I can play the fool, but I'm always just the best at exposing a fool. And it's something that I've done a couple times in my life. And those are the times I can't help but take a victory lap, you know? Because everybody deserves a victory lap. Especially when they're dealing with people like Icthulu. You really should not have agreed with that comment on my thread, because it means you lack all self-awareness. You were too trusting. You literally told me, like, that you're some Cthulhu god, and to change my name to Tiamat, you know, so I would look even more evil. Who cares if I'm some fucking 5-headed dragon queen? I like people. I'm a good person. That's what matters. It doesn't matter how I act when everybody obviously needs to hide information. And if you judge me off of that, like, do you just think the Earth is flat because you've never seen a curve? Oh, me never been in airplane. Me think Earth is flat. Somebody I trust told me, so that's why I think it. My name's Plato, and I was in the closet for a long time. I'm sorry, I could not resist making that joke.